Hello everyone, Jack here, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to crack on with sorting the last few bits for the Mini's MOT. I've got some really good news about the centre dash, as I'll go and show you in a minute. And yeah, I'm just going to basically crack on with the things that I didn't get finished last weekend. So if you're new around here, make sure you hit subscribe and make sure you hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me and spurs me on to make some new videos. I've got plans for a lot of new cool content coming soon, so stay tuned for that. If you're interested in anything rusty, Mini, MX-5, anything like that, then make sure you stick around because there's plenty more content coming this summer. But for now, let's crack on with the Mini. So if you haven't seen part 1 of this video, make sure you go and check it out in the iCard up here and basically see what we got to in the first episode. So if we come over to the Mini here, open her up, as you'll see, there is the old clock with the sat nav, and there's a new clock in place. So if I put the key in the ignition and show you the clocks and then start the car, all the lights go off. The ABS sensor, the flat tyre light and the brake pad sensor light, I'd all expect them to be on because I've not yet ran the car for the new ABS sensor to kick in, so that's fine. The brake pad wear light, which is this one, we'll be fixing that in this video. The red one is obviously the handbrake, but as you can see, no erroneous lights on the dashboard, and I am really f***ing happy. So basically what I did was I bought a second-hand set of clocks off eBay, $11.99, free shipping, and that fixed my issue. So clearly the issue was that my clocks had shorted out or whatever. I'm going to keep my eye out for a second-hand set of the ones that I did have, and they're about 140 quid. So I'm going to just keep an eye out for a cheaper set of them to come around, because I would like to keep it the way it was. But yeah, this should pass an MOT, which is what we want. And if you can't tell, I'm absolutely stoked. So that's the clocks. As I said, there was the brake pad wear sensor light on there, which we'll be replacing in this video, which is at this wheel, and it's at the front passenger side wheel, so we'll be sorting that out. I also obviously need to get the wheels back on, so I've just quickly thrown the interior back together and just had a bit of a tidy up. So it looks a little bit better now. And then there's only a few things left. One is the windscreen, which is completely out of my hands. I need to rebook that in once the car is down on the ground, because they couldn't do it because the car's on jack stands, which is completely fair enough. He said as they take the screen out, they have to wobble the screen, like jiggle it around to try and free it. And he said there's every chance that it could fall off the jack stands, so he doesn't want to, 1, damage the car, and 2, hurt himself. I said that's fair enough. So I need to rebook that in once it's on the floor, which hopefully it will be this weekend. Then we need to wire in England. Then we need to wire in the horns because they're currently not wired in or plugged in at all. One of them is missing a plug, so I need to figure out that. That shouldn't take us too long really. I've bought the new horns. And then the bit that's in my mind the simplest, which is giving me the most grief, is the boot handle registration lamps. They don't work. I put the new bulbs in, they still don't work. I'm pretty sure the boot handle is dead, because if you watch this, that is a dead boot handle. Now, I took the handle off and had a quick look, and there is a lot of rust inside the boot. Now this here is a really common rust spot on Minis and here too, and my guess is that the water seeped down in behind this, behind the boot handle, and it has actually started to rust the inside of the boot. So I'm going to manually open the boot. If you want to know how to do that, click on the iCard up here. So I don't know how well this will pick it up, but there's rust there. It's not much, but it's just a bit of surface. There's some quite nasty rust there, and again here, and again in here. There is on here as well, and it's, I don't think I'll be able to get the camera up, but there's quite a bit in the back of there. The nastiest bit being around here. So my plan with this is to basically buy a new boot. I need the boot lid with the handle. So yeah, that's my plan to get the registration lamps working. Basically just replace the boot and everything with it. As I said, I've replaced that boot handle 2 or 3 times before. So yeah, not got high hopes for replacing just the handle. So because of the rust issues and whatever, I'm going to replace the whole boot. was going to do it anyway because of the rust bubbling on the back, but now this has just sort of sped it up a bit. But yeah, it's Friday evening now, so I'm going to go inside, have a drink, chill out. So it's currently Sunday. We're heading off to Wolverhampton airport because there's a mini boot lid there. Managed to pick up for 60 quid. So me and Owen are going to collect it. See you in a bit. So if anyone does need mini parts, P&S Spares, they're based at Wolverhampton Halfpenny Airport. That's where we are now. Pretty cool location actually. We're just chatting with a guy and there's just helicopters casually landing over the back. Bit loud when you're trying to chat, but there we go. But yeah, pretty cool site. Just gonna see if we can get close without getting shot. But yeah, pretty cool site. There's a few little different shops here, including like a vintage store and stuff. So managed to get the boot. It's got all the stickers on it still, so I don't know whether to keep them. It's in good condition. No rust along here, which is where it usually rusts. Back window's tinted. Doesn't come with a spoiler on, but we'll just put mine on it.
You've got the third brake light, so that's quite good.
Mine's got that.
Yeah, but it comes with it.
Mm.
That's good.
Winning. So we're home now, just trying to get the 2 bolts out the boot. There's the new boot lid. We need to get a new wiper delete kit. But yeah, it's not too bad. There's no spoiler on it, but as I said, it's not really an issue because I've got one on mine, so we'll take that off at some point. Just show you what we've got to do to take it off. So we've got to remove this ground strap here, 10mm bolt, and then there's 2 hex or Torx bits there. Then remove the struts, and I think that's about it. So there's my old boot lid off the car. Managed to take the spoiler off it as well to put onto the new one. The new boot lid's over here. We managed to get the bolts off eventually. As you can see, we had to cut into them and basically put a flat blade in there, but they came off eventually. So yeah, I'm going to put the new tailgate on now. I'm going to put them bolts back in temporarily, but I will buy some new ones. Obviously don't want to leave it without a boot on. Put the struts on, put all the wiring back in, and just test if it works. Okay, so new boots on. I've put the spoiler on. Obviously we're going to have to resolve that at some point. Underneath here is red, whereas the old one was black. So I'm going to have to repaint that at some point. We'll obviously have to take this glue here off from the old spoiler. We're going to have to figure that out. But the boot is on. It lines up really, really well. It's got the Cooper S badge on it. And there's a lot of chrome which we need to fix. We'll obviously be taking the wiper off, but I have got it to work for now. The boot handle works. Unfortunately the lights still don't work, but that's part of, we're going to have to look into that. But yeah, refitted everything back up. All looking pretty good. Just got to fix them, but I think it's the connectors inside here. It's all pretty crummy, but yeah, we'll do that soon. But yeah, the boot's on. I've got to replace them 2 bolts at the top, and as I say, get that top bit painted. And yeah, have a look at them lights and see what's going on there. I think the connector just needs cleaning up with a bit of electrical cleaner. So if it wasn't already obvious, I'm absolutely desperate to get this car back on the road and give it a good old rip around the B roads. It's currently 9:30 at night and I'm trying to sort out the wiring for the boot handle. The wiring seems a little bit spotty. It would work sometimes, then it wouldn't work, and I think I've narrowed the problem down to this connector, so I'm going to snip them out, just connect the wires straight up. I did do some rewiring earlier while I was troubleshooting, which helped the issue but didn't fix it entirely. So I'm going to rewire this up using the same sort of crimp-on connectors, which have worked well for everything else I've done. So I'm going to use them and see if I can finally resolve the boot handle issue. So after fully rewiring the boot handle twice, because the first one got left out in the rain, wasn't expecting any rain, it was lovely and sunny this morning, left out on the garden table, and we had a freak rainstorm. I completely forgot it was out there and it was destroyed, but I've rewired everything. As you can see, these are from the boot handle, the original boot handle that was on this car. I've just done the wiring again, which seems to have solved the original issue, which was indeed the wiring and the connector on the plug, because the original boot handle works perfect. Now when I turn the lights on, you can see the reg plate bulbs working. This one isn't. I think these LED thingies are dead. They're brand new, but they don't seem to be working, unless I just cannot see them at all, but I'm pretty convinced they're not working. So I just need to get another one of them bulbs for there. The handle's working. And yeah, that's the boot handle done. I'm glad I got to the bottom of an electrical issue. It's been bugging me for quite a while. I've replaced the boot obviously, which is good because the other one was rusted. I've always wanted to replace it because it looked messy, and there we go. Obviously need to sort out that bit of glue up the top, but we'll sort that at some point. I'm quite happy that I managed to change it all over and get to the bottom of my dodgy boot handle. So yeah, feeling pretty good, glad it's sorted, and that's one more thing ticked off the list. There will be one more episode I think in this series. I can't see them being any more than that. We're going to sort out the drive shaft and the brake pad sensors next video. But for now, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, and go and check out my website www.grindinggears.uk. Grab yourself a sticker or a mug and let me know once you get one. And yeah, thanks for watching, stay safe and see you later.